couple months ago, the Afghanistani rebels I think they're called the ISIS terrorists. They had regained control of the country of Afghanistan, and all the hard work that the U.S. put in to try to push back and try to build the country with a democratic government is all at a loss, and a lot of people died in that war trying to fight the ISIS. And so all the effort, the hard work that they had was for nothing. And there were videos on the news where the U.S. forces were exiting the country, and there were some Afghanistani citizens, civilians, trying to get onto these planes. And some of them fell to their death, trying to cling on to what was the departing U.S. forces. And it's a fact that Muslims are existing just as Christians are. And people should be free to believe in what they believe in. But people go to war for what they believe in. And that's just the human nature of things. It's been going on for a long time, before I was even born. I was born in 1976. It is now 2022. And the country of Afghanistan had been taken over by the rebels, and they are now in control of the country. And that decision was made by the Biden administration. There's a lot of issues concerning politics here in the U.S. But that's digressing from the subject that I had talked about earlier, which was the topic of God. It sort of ties in with the governments, because if you look on the dollar bills and on the coins, there's a engraving on there, and it's printed out on there that it says, "In God we trust." So that means that they believe in a God, and whoever that God may be is what they perceived to be the God. But others have other perspectives of it, and they believe in other gods. I have an Indian coworker who is Indian, and he believes that the cow is sacred, like the rest of his countrymen back in India. And they worship other animals as well. I think they worship the elephant as well, which I think they call the Ganesh or something like that. I'm not really familiar with their religion or religions or their gods. I don't believe that the cow is sacred. I mean, it's a valuable animal. Beef is my favorite piece of meat. And I'm a carnivore. I'm not a vegetarian or a vegan. I have beef in this Jeep right now next to me. I have beef goulash, which was being served tonight. So some African countries can gauge a person's wealth by having numerous cows and cattle. Some cultures they have what they call a dowry, where it's custom where either the family of the bride or the groom gives a gift in form of cattle. But like I said, in India they worship the cow. My Indian coworker doesn't eat meat. He's a vegetarian. And if you think that my decision of thinking Megatron is a god, then what do you think about Indians worshiping the cow as a god? I know there are other Transformers like Optimus Prime, mainly as the hero. Megatron is seen as the villain, and in most of the movies he somehow just like gets killed. But in one of the movies, Optimus Prime leaves planet Earth and he flies into the sky and out into space, and he said he was going to look for the ones who created them. So even if the hero, the main character, Optimus Prime, believes that there's something that made them, there must be other gods out there other than the gods that we believe here on earth. Who's to say another alien life form out in space that resides in one of the planets that are habitable to them, which might not be habitable to us? You know, there are endless possibilities. For example, the periodic table has elements on there that are missing, and these are facts. I'm not making these topics up at all. And I learned in chemistry that there are elements there, and I had said to my coworkers that these elements could be found in other planets, maybe even on asteroids and other rocks. There's this movie called Armageddon.